Okay, with that, we bring in our panel as we wait for Governor DeSantis moments away. We're joined by a great group to discuss this. Kellyanne Conway, former senior counselor to President Trump, now president of KA Consulting and a Fox News contributor, of course. Howie Kurtz is here as well, host of Media Buzz, and Patrick Murphy, former Democratic congressman from Pennsylvania. Great to have all of you with us today. You know, I want to start by taking another look at a piece from The View. The View was originated by Barbara Walters to represent many different viewpoints and have sort of dynamic discussions. But this is part of it that I think will give you a sense for what happened there today. Watch.
People are ready for a new generation of leadership that's about fixing problems. Thank you.
We have more with Vice President.
Howie, I know you've been analyzing a lot of these interviews, 60 Minutes, and this is a very stacked day today for her. Your thoughts?
From the moment that Whoopi Goldberg bellowed to introduce her, the next president of the United States, I mean, I just cringed. And The View was more embarrassing than I expected. They trashed Donald Trump. They praised Kamala. Some reasonable questions were asked, as you noted, but she just ran circles around them, retreating to her familiar talking points when she didn't want to answer a question. And also, she actually made some news, which had been leaked in advance, sort of pitching herself to the sandwich generation by saying that Medicare should pay people who take care of elderly folks at home and not just pay for them to live in expensive institutions. And that's the first time she's had a new policy proposal in weeks and weeks where she hasn't been making any news. Journalists don't like these particular kind of appearances, but you can see why it was tempting for the vice president.
Yeah, it was a great campaign event, Kellyanne, and that's what it was from beginning to end. I don't think there's any other way really to look at this. But why is my question, Kellyanne, in terms of strategy? What has changed? So in the past couple of days, she is out there a lot at this point.
Sure. But Martha, she's still in friendly audiences with easy questions, as you saw there. I don't think any news was broken today insofar as she's reached a single swing voter that turns on The View, which is a Trump-bashing machine. Doesn't belong in the news division at ABC, by the way. They're welcome to have an opinion show. Plenty of networks do, but that should not be in the news division. And I'm not sure she moved a single person who isn't already tuning into The View for Trump-bashing. Her problem was I think, exposed for everyone to see. What is it? That they keep her hermetically sealed away from not just interviewers, but the people, voters most days, because of what you just saw. She's not prepared. Here's somebody who faced a broken teleprompter last week and kept saying 32 days, 32 days. It's awkward at best. Our opponents throughout the country and the world watch it and are really frightened. And I don't think much has changed because she's running out the clock and Trump's racing it. But the way you win is not by doing one big thing a month. July, she becomes the nominee. August, she has a convention. September, she participates in a debate. Is this the big October event for Kamala Harris? Maybe she'll eat pizza with her hands and not a fork and knife, and the media will cover it breathlessly. But seriously speaking, you win or lose these contests not in these big moments. You win or lose them in the small day by day. You got Trump and Vance barnstorming the swing states and making themselves available to all kinds of things, and then you have this. And I just wanted to say, Joe Biden and Jill Biden are trying to sabotage this woman. I said it on June 27th, the night of the debate. I absolutely believe it. She attacked Ron DeSantis today. DeSantis hit back, but Joe Biden said, I think DeSantis is doing a great job. I told him and I gave him my cell phone number.
Interesting point. I want to get a couple more quick things in here. This is Charlemagne the God, Patrick, and here's what he has to say about how he sees the race. And clearly, she's gone to a lot of sort of female-centric audiences lately, but it's men with whom she is struggling. Watch this.
You'll listen to a lot of reporters and they'll be talking to Trump or J.D. Vance and they'll be talking to them about things that are happening right here in America. So it's always America first. But then, you go to Tim Walz and they're asking him about geopolitical politics. And I think a lot of times that makes them sound, very out of touch. You hear, the Vances and the Trumps talking about what's happening here at home and saying things like America first and make America great again. That messaging sometimes resonates a lot more.
He went on to say, no, not just sometimes. It does resonate more. Your reaction, Patrick?
Yeah, I would actually agree. I think Donald Trump has been strong and wrong pretty much his whole life. And that's why he had 6 bankruptcies before he went into public service. That's why he racked up about $8 trillion in debt when he was our president for 4 years. And this is the reality. I sometimes feel like I'm in a bizarro world. Are we not going to talk about the CBS interview that Kamala Harris had and that Donald Trump was supposed to have?
Yeah, let's do
and then
it.
he backed out of it?
We are, Patrick.
He backed out of it. He said,
in fact, I'm glad you brought that up because I want to squeeze in one more thing, and I know that we're tight on time because we're waiting for Governor DeSantis. But Howie, I want to have you watch this very closely because I know what went through my mind as I watched the edit cuts in this answer from Vice President Harris. Watch this.
250 hostages were taken, including Americans. Women were brutally raped. And as I said then, I maintain Israel has a right to defend itself. We would. And how it does so matters. Far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. This war has to end.
There are 4 edits in that soundbite, Howie. When I watched this last night very closely, I was surprised at how many times within one answer there were pull-ups and cuts. Can you explain what's going on there?
Well, it's a classic sort of network, overproduced kind of thing.
Is it? That's not what I saw. I mean, you know, a lot of times you'll see ABC pull away and show video. Oh, earlier today we were at this campaign site, and then they come back. This is within one answer.
Yes, just within one answer, because she's not giving 2-sentence answers. You could see that immediately. And I think that was a mistake on CBS's part. They should have run the whole thing unedited so nobody could question it. And at the same time, Bill Whitaker, I have to say, relentlessly came back when she would dodge the questions with generalities. That wasn't the question. The question was, how are you going to pay for it? And so I thought 60 Minutes did a pretty good job. She came off okay. But yeah, the editing was so blatant. And I found it annoying, and I think it was a bad strategic move on the part of 60 Minutes. And then they follow up with
hey, Martha,
a long piece.
Martha, real quick.
Right, they're wrapping me, but I'm going to give you real quick, Patrick, real quick.
I would say 90% of success is showing up. Kamala Harris showed up because she's a leader for 60 Minutes. Donald Trump said he was going to do it, and he backed out.
All right, why did he back out, Kellyanne? 5 seconds. Why did he back out?
Because they're never going to edit him.
Too, by the way.
But also, the biggest problem with the mainstream media right now are their polls. It showed Biden up 8.1% today over Trump nationally in 2020. Now Kamala's up 2.0 points. So these shoddy polls that have come from the mainstream media network and print for many years, I think they're starting to not undercount the Trump voter. And she has a race on her hands. She needs to go into friendly media like that. Trump doesn't need to do it. He's taking his case right to the voters. There are no swing voters in the CBS. Let me tell you something.
And she won't debate him, Kellyanne. He won't debate her.
All right.
He won't debate her neither. She said
they both declined debates. She declined a debate here, and then he declined a debate. In the middle, there was a candidate switcheroo. So that's where we are with 4 weeks to go. All of you, thank you so much. Great to have you here today.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.